Hey everybody, welcome to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and welcome back to the regular returning members of the RV Nerd Herd. Today we're going to be looking at a Cedar Creek mid-bunk, and if you've seen a lot of RV videos, you're probably going, oh, really? Another mid-bunk fifth wheel? But the thing is, what I love about Cedar Creek is they find a way to do stuff different from everyone else. First of all, the entire build and structure of this RV is unlike almost anything else out there. And it might kind of surprise you when you look at this, you see that shiny fiberglass, learn, first of all, these are not laminated, which sounds crazy, but hear me out. I actually think that these are some of the very best built fifth wheels, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, available out there. And you've seen mid-bunk layouts like this before. You got some sort of outdoor camp kitchen-ish situation. You've got like a middle bonus room. You've got a loft above it. Like, everybody does it. So why am I covering another one? Because Cedar Creek always finds a way to do it different. They use different furniture. They use different suppliers. And the way that you access the loft in this one is different from almost anything else I've ever seen. Most middle bunk rooms have a ladder that pops out right at the top of the stairs, which is a good way to trip yourself up and wake everybody up at night when you're trying to hop downstairs and sneak those leftovers. This one's done differently. It actually has a staircase. So it's safer for kids, it's safer for you. It doesn't impede into that narrow hallway right at the top of the stairs. It's a different, smart design. And maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but it's something they do differently that I really like and I really respect. Now, the RV certainly has a couple of hiccups here and there, but overall, I think this is far more positive than negative. And I would love it if you hung out with me today to kind of see what I mean by that. And if you appreciate the fair information that we share, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as we go, let me know your favorite part about this fifth wheel and the one thing that you'd change given the opportunity. So one of the first things I always ask myself is like, who is this RV for? And I think pretty obviously this one works very well for a family. Now, a lot of middle bunk and bonus rooms, you'll often hear me say, oh, it's got an office. Not this one. This is really a more purist middle bunkhouse, which is kind of cool. Actually, quick clarification there. What I should have said is the way we're seeing it today, it's not really a middle office in the way some of them are. It can be. Instead of building like a desk space over here where all the dresser and closet storage is, you can actually get this built with an optional desk instead of the hide-a-bed over here in the slide. Unfortunately, I just don't have a sample of it to show you today. But if that is something you're looking for, if you are looking for a real office environment and you actually want a big desk, you can keep that and keep all the storage behind you and really truly have a pretty cool little middle office, middle den space here. It could be used as like a miniature second living room or game room or something like that. But by default, it's not really set up with any kind of desk and office space. But with Cedar Creeks, they are built. I'm going to say this a couple times. I personally think they're some of the best built dollar for dollar, pound for pound fifth wheels that you're going to find out there. So if this is something you plan to use for more than just casual activity, if this is something that you want to use for a big, long, extended period of time and some heavy duty use, this is a model that would work really, really well for you. Now, what's cool about this one, this has 4 separate sleeping areas. You've got a sleeper sofa in the back. You've got the sleeper sofa in the middle bonus room. You have the loft above that. And then you have the front primary bedroom with a king or a queen bed. And that's what's kind of neat about this. Like, maybe you've got a family where, like, you have let's say, like a son and a daughter, or some combination thereof, and you want them each to have their own split up different kind of space. That is definitely one of those areas where this might come into play and work very nicely for you. But it still has, it doesn't have like that big visual wow that like a lot of fifth wheels have. It has all the right junk in all the right places, though. This is a function-first kind of RV. Like, taking a look at that, you've got the dual-section day and night shades. You have a pair of pulled-out guest chairs, so if you do want to seat some more people around that, you can. You might have noticed some USB plugs between the table and the theater seating there. There's also a set of household outlets down below the table. Now, the sofa in this, Cedar Creek uses a lot of different suppliers. They try to use like intentionally different brands of like sofas and things like that from most other builders out there. And that is a traditional like residential inner spring hide-a-bed. I'm not gonna lie, that's not the most comfortable thing I've been on, but usually most fold-out hide-a-beds are not. The seating on it, though, for the daytime function is some of the most comfortable I've ever experienced in the RV industry. And I think at the end of the day, we are all going to acknowledge that we do tend to sit on that more than we tend to sleep on it. The cabinetry in here, all hardwood cabinet door frames, hidden hinges. It's all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry, which is pretty common in this class. I don't know if you noticed at the start of our video, we do have a big, large XL ceiling vent fan up top as well, just to help keep some airflow moving, maybe exhaust some extra cooking heat or something like that. And it's their kitchens that I think are some of the most like undervalued and underappreciated things in the Cedar Creek lineup. The way that they do this island, it's asymmetrical, and we have that good drawer space. We have serious space for a wastebasket below. But with it being asymmetrical, even when the sink is being used when the sink is in use, whatever. You know what I mean, right? That works, it fits, and it works. Let's move on. My point is, you've got good counter space here. So you can come in, plop down some groceries, and have time and place to set that stuff down to take care of it. You may have also noticed, this is kind of cool. This is what a lot of fifth wheels are going to call the big sink. And then Cedar Creek goes, I got you. You could bathe a baby in that thing. You could give a watermelon a bath if for some reason you felt the need. Which reminds me, the other day I saw one of our staff members here washing a banana when the peel was still on. And is it just me, or is that weird? You don't need to wash a banana, right? Okay, let's agree on that. Anyway, and if you hear that funny sound, that is the furniture. That's not me passing gas, as far as you know. Down below, of course, we have the electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster, but I want to clue you in on a couple cool things. So that's a electric heater. You can build these with like a heat pump AC. There's a little space heater up in the bedroom area, and this thing has holding tank heaters. It essentially has like an electric heating system, and it still has the propane furnace. It's like a dual heat source RV. If you're going to cold camp, they're 0 to 100 degree tested, like a lot of big fifth wheels, but if you're going to cold camp, I think that Cedar Creeks are one of those brands that are probably going to hold up better than most. And one of the other cool things is that these are dual pane windows. Now, I try to be fair. I try to be very candid in my videos. I've been very outspoken about this. This says insulated window. It's not a gas charge hollow thermal pane window like you find in the residential industry. It is 2 panes of glass basically bonded together. It is a slight increase in R value over just a standard window pane. The biggest benefit of those is sound deadening. It is so much quieter when I'm not yakety-yakking in here, and so comfortable and enjoyable. Now moving forward here into the middle bunk, the bonus room, whatever you want to call it. This one definitely has more of a second bedroom and like maybe second entertainment kind of feel than a lot of them. I could actually see someone using the loft as the bonus sleeper, and then this almost being like a second living space and storage space for additional members of the household. Now, I mentioned that this is more of a true middle bunk. It's less of a middle, like, office, because what they did here is they just gave us more storage as a result. But, I mean, tell me when more storage is the wrong answer. And frankly, aren't most middle bunkhouses painfully lacking in storage? Now, a little extra detail over here. That is a blackout roller shade above. Now we have a memory foam sleeper sofa. There's just not a supplier for their traditional sleeper sofa in this thing. One that fits this middle room, basically. But like I said, how many middle bunk bonus rooms have a dedicated double door closet and serious dresser space like this? Frankly, I have seen some fifth wheels with less personal storage than you find in just this bedroom right here. Now, this looks a little bit interesting over here. We're going to see why that's there in just a minute. I wanted you to get to see that extra set of outlets, though. I think when the doors were open, I don't know if you were able to catch that. But, you know, we've got TV hookups, household USB plugs. This, again, it's got the right things in the right places. But this, I think, is very cool. There's several areas in this RV where there's an accent light switch. And that is, you see there's a little accent below the fireplace. You see that there's also one up here in that big ceiling fixture. And what's cool about that, those accent lights, they're going to act as like a little bit of an air traffic controller guide. So if somebody is slipping out of that room at night, it's basically like, I call it stealth mode camping. It's night lighting so that people can see what they're doing without flipping on the main bright ceiling lights and being Manfred manned, which I'm sure you've realized means blinded by the light. There's also, you didn't really see that before, little accent there. I like the little
the little work that they're doing down there. Just that little visual touch is nice. All right, moving forward, down below we have ourselves the electric vacuum, central vacuum cleaner with the electric dustpan toe kick down below that. This is like there's a little octopus coat hanger. I'm not going to call that a coat closet. I'm not going to insult you that way. I think that this is a good little dog leash latch holder though, or something like that, like a fly swatter. Now the RV that we're looking at has a 190 watt roof solar panel on top, and it's detecting, okay, we got a AGM battery on here. That's a PWM controller, by the way. And then this is the controls for our smart system. One of my favorite things on this, when it says Light Master on and off, it means all of the lights. And are you seeing how we have a live, real-time, available battery readout right there? Let me do that one more time. I'm going to turn all the lights off. And then all the lights back on. And look at how that's going live. Now, you can also control your heating and cooling separately up here for like your front and rear air conditioners. Now, this right here, like we've seen a little bit of different things. This is like the signature calling card of this floor plan for me. Instead of a staircase or a set of a ladder that folds out and trips people up, we've got the stairway to heaven, as I'm going to call it up here. You see TV hookups, power outlets, and how much space is there around in that loft? Well, I clowned around a little bit and climbed up there myself just to kind of give you a little bit of reference. I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall, by the way. 6'1", 2, 3, depending on the shoes and stuff I'm wearing. Probably without my shoes, they're closer to 6'1", 6'2". But look at this. Again, the attention to detail. The bigger vent fan up here. It's just those kind of little details that I really appreciate Cedar Creek for. And they're very consistent with that. Not just in the kitchen, not just in the bunks, but basically anywhere. And I think that's a really good indicator of the fact that they're not cutting corners on this. Now, they don't have necessarily all of the flashy razzmatazz that some other brands might have. They are built. They are functional. If you're looking for something to take care of your family, this is a brand that is probably going to work very, very well for you. You got a Lipitor storage galorge medicine cabinet mirror right there. You saw it's a one-piece fiberglass shower enclosure. We've got the little built-in molded seat over there, and if you notice, it is very tall, very comfortable in terms of ceiling height in this upper deck. Now, it's kind of nice that I actually have to open this door instead of having just open face storage in the bathroom like so many RVs have started having. And look at how many shelves are in here. A lot of brands will give you a big door and then they give you like one shelf if you're lucky inside. That's not the case right here. Toilet space in this is excellent, especially when this sliding pocket privacy door here is pulled out of the way. Now, as a person who is a little bit taller, and I'm not the tallest out there, usually when I start going through bathroom doors, I got a duck. I don't have to do that here. When I come around the corner, I go into the bedroom. Usually, I got a duck. I don't got to do that here. This is nice and tall, and you see this right here. Something I didn't talk about in the living room is how this has a 30,000 BTU dual whisper ducted air conditioner, very similar to the Jaycos that you see me cover here on our channel all the time. What that basically means is that if the compressor kicks on at night, it's not going to roar like Katy Perry. And it's funny, despite, those epic singing pipes that you heard me demonstrate right there and the high note ranges that I have available to me, I haven't got that call from American Idol yet. I don't know, maybe they lost my my number. Anyway, up here we've got a queen or a king bed. We're looking at the king today. I'm not going to call these CPAP stands because I don't think there's really a whole lot of machines that are going to fit up there. I think that's a cool little phone charger stand or something like that, though. Just a little personal knick-knack shelf. You see some USB plugs, and I like where those are actually located. They're high enough that I don't think I'm going to smash them if I roll over at night. But they're also not so high that I'm not going to be able to reach anything, and they're just high enough that if you have like a 3-foot USB cable charger for your phone, I think it'll reach up top there. So I think that was really good, really smart execution overall. Again, the ceiling height in here, phenomenal. The air conditioning system, powerful, quiet, and the RV's well insulated. And you've got dual mirrored big closet doors right there. When I'm behind the camera, I don't know. I don't like to see my own reflection. just a weird thing about me. Like, I like to pretend I'm a vampire. Anyway, lifting this up, you might notice there's storage for those folding chairs below the bed, but not much else, right? That's because this has an all-hydraulic slide system, even a hydraulic bed slide, so it's going to move a lot faster, which is very cool. At the same time, though, that hydraulic system under the bed does require eating up some of what could otherwise be potential cargo space. Standard bedroom TV here, so you don't got to worry about replacing that. And it is at a little bit of the downward dog angle, so you're not going to be enjoying a little afternoon neck wrecker, bedroom entertainment center. Then you see this guy over here. This is, in the living room, we have an electric space heater that we call a fireplace. This is just more obviously just an electric space heater, but it's localized to this room. So if it is that kind of spring fall, or if you need that extra kick of heating power in your bedroom or in the living room area, you have supplemental heating systems. Now, if you look at this, I'm going to tell you that it is washer and dryer, 2 separate unit capable. But you look at it, and the closet looks a little bit shallow for that. What I love is that they're including a little visual graphic for us here to understand that. What actually happens is that lower cabinet removes. One unit slots into the nose cap, one slots over here. They are not flush face with one another, but if you notice, that means that you maintain hanging storage above, shelf storage behind, and you'll still maintain the full use of this space over here. Now, in terms of road mode travel and access, I don't think it's going to come as much of a surprise to people. When the slides are closed down here at the lower level, you're pretty much cut off everything. And I know that that's not what a lot of people wanted to hear, but I'm also not going to conveniently gloss over something just because it isn't a convenient fact. Thankfully, the loft up here, since it's right off of the hallway, will always be accessible. Obviously, our bathroom also coming off the hallway, always accessible. And something that kind of surprised me, and this is why I put these videos together. The bedroom, you got to be careful. You might cut yourself off from it, because when the slide is closed, even if you lift the bed to try to get past it, at least with the king bed, it's a little too wide and it kind of blocks you from getting in, unless you did a little bit of a sideways travel trailer two-step. I guess you could. Now, what could you do about that? Well, it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is just basically leave the bedroom door open before you close the slides. One other thing I failed to talk about is this doesn't have a window in the entry door, but it does have like a classic little peephole. And remember, you've got that big super slide with all the windows and that hallway window over here. If somebody's knocking and you want to find out who it is or what it is before you open the door, you have plenty of ability to do that.
Now, it's been nice having more RVs in stock and having more things to be able to show people and, an expanded lineup to be able to cover on this channel. It also means that the space that I have to work around these things has become quite limited and diminished as of late. We're sitting right over here next to I think that's the 388 WDM front bath, middle kind of bedroom bath and a half model. Anyway, we're kind of packed in here into a tight corridor, but I want to use this to our advantage. And I want to showcase something that Cedar Creek does better than most brands. Look at the skin on this. That is, when I say a mirror-like reflectivity, that's not an exaggeration on these whatsoever. They're using a higher grade, higher gloss kind of fiberglass. And here's another wacky, crazy thing. Cedar Creeks are not a laminated RV. When this says aluminum structure, it's not joking. This is actually a classic fifth wheel build, where instead of like a stick and tin camper that has wood studs roughly every 16 inches on center, this has aluminum studs roughly 16 inches on center. They're screwed and bracketed in place just to kind of hold everything while basically this crazy rubber cement type stuff, this epoxy adhesive stuff gets into play. And what that stuff does, basically, it continues to cure over time. By the time a Cedar Creek rolls off the production line, it has the structural integrity of a laminated RV. But here's the cool thing. They continue to cure over time, and Cedar Creek structures literally get stronger and not weaker over time. That is really the Cedar Creek advantage. If you're looking for something that you really want to bounce around, you want to tow and go, you want to be in this thing for a long time and put it through its heavy use paces, this is a brand that I think you should really, really be considering right here. Now, as you see, it has like a little mini camp kitchenette, but It would be like if they put that griddle in that compartment, it would be up in your face. You'd be splattering bacon grease up against this, ooh, nicely finished compartment. Well done there. So they make it swing out and drop down and come to you where it's a little easier to access, which is kind of cool. Also, just nice little details. Their magnet holdbacks having the little latch there so it doesn't accidentally fall down and bang against everything you're doing. Your speakers are at about head level. I like that. I can get down with that. I can respect that. Little sprayer port right there below that set of power outlets, which is something a lot of fifth wheels used to have and don't. A set of power outlets over here on the door side of the RV to be able to run stuff. That's just some of that classic Cedar Creek DNA that they just never quit doing. They never tried to do it just $1 cheaper that way. I like how it's a carpetless basement compartment. You see that like industrial toy hauler style rubberized flooring right there. That, by the way, is a little access panel to be able to get into some mechanical type things if need be. This is also a forced air heated compartment, and I mentioned how this RV can essentially be built with a, it effectively has, the way we're looking at it today, an electric and a propane heating system, because we've got the, electric fireplace. You got that little bedroom space heater thing going on. You've also got the tank heaters in the belly on top of the propane furnace. Big power awning on the front of this thing too, and it's mounted up high enough that I don't think you're gonna bonk your noggin on this thing. All of the Cedar Creeks have the option of being outfitted with this Kurt Air Ride pin box right here, which, if you're gonna be, again, towing and going, this has the structure to take heavy road use. This also has a more ride shock dampening suspension system on the tires so that, the entire RV isn't getting jostled around unnecessarily. That also translates into a little smoother personal ride and handling experience. That front compartment right there, this is the bare base version of that. This is available with generator prep or an actual generator install, and you see the optional slide awnings have been applied here as well. That's something that in the Champagne series I see dealers do more of. In the standard Cedar Creek series that we're looking at, I don't see them done quite as often. And keep in mind, what we're looking at today is just one example of a Cedar Creek 377, not necessarily every single one of these at every single Bish's location. Enclosed privatized docking center. These are all hot cold camp rated, so there's no worries about that. They got the same radiant barrier package as about any big fifth wheel builder. But I'm going to give them some bonus points for this. Putting that battery disconnect and our tank pulls way up high, those your gate valve levers, so that all the stuff where your hoses are dangling down, you're not like having to fight your way through that, to be able to say, "Ooh, I like that light up there," so you can see what you're doing. Also, this is a 12-volt powered cord reel, so you don't have to like physically manhandle a big heavy 50 amp cable. And I like how they built it up top instead of down here, so once again we maintain maximum cargo space. Now on this channel, I talk about things like the Wildwood Accessibelly, the little hard armored panels that they use. Yeah, well, guess where they got that idea? I think they're also going to score some points with some people that behind that drop frame there, you do have only a single sewer outlet. Notice too, you do have the little sewer hose caddy tube over there just in front of the tires. Now that is under a slide, but because your gate pull valves are in that privatized docking compartment, I don't really mind that, because before you open the slides, you can get yourself hooked up to an on-site sewer, and then you can always access the gate valves when you need them. Now let's talk some towing safety. So first of all, with the more ride suspension in that Kurt pin box, you've already got a little bit better ride and handling, and I am right up next to the road, so apologies if I'm right in the face of this RV. I don't feel like getting hit today. Funny, I know, it's just weird how that's not on my list of things to do. Crazy. Anyway, in addition to the ride and handling things, we also have factory standard tire pressure monitoring. And look at those extra brake lights way up high next to the big rear view window there. Well, if you add something like a bike rack into that little receiver hitch down there, you might block or obscure those lower taillights. So they include an extra set there. And when a light is mounted up higher, and I'm gonna jerk the camera real fast, so just kind of be aware. When you're driving, when we zone out, we tend to look down. But when you see brakes, when you sense danger, you go, huh! You jump up here. So those extra brake lights are going to be a very handy safety feature. And now, even though this is something, like, especially with the residential fridge that we're looking at today, as we're looking at today, it's not really outfitted to be some kind of off-grid warrior. It is really cool that these do have that 190-watt roof solar package up here, just to help keep the batteries topped off. Where that's really nice is if the RV's in storage, obviously if it's not stored inside or under a cover, the batteries will be, you know, set and ready. When you go to hit that auto leveling button or something like that, or you come back to your campsite, you want to open the slides or open the awning, she's going to be charged up, she's going to be ready to go. And something I forgot to mention as we walked around earlier, you see that extra little awning up here on the face of that slide out? I can't talk. Obviously, I don't edit my videos very much. Anyway, that is an optional item that you can get on a 377. That's one of the cool things about these too. You can add that extra shaded patio space if you want. And if you notice, it's like an armless awning, which on the face of a slide out, if it had normal traditional awning arms, it would be a forehead banger every time you walk through that thing. Don't get me wrong, I used to play in a Southern Michigan bar band. I don't mind me some head banging, but that's not what I want to be doing off the awning arm on my campsite. So let me know what you think about it. Is it different enough? Do you find interesting things here? Is this something that you hadn't seen before that you're like, huh, maybe I should start considering that? Again, it's an opinion. It's my personal belief that pound for pound, dollar for dollar, Cedar Creek is about the best built thing that's available out there. They're a brand that has earned a huge amount of respect for me. I really respect their team. They're good quality, classy people. I feel like they're putting together a good, classy product. I've never said that any RV is necessarily perfect. You know, there's all these different things, different brands, different builders, and they all want to say that theirs is the best for a different reason. And in different ways, they're all right. My goal is to just try to put all these videos out to help you understand where they are different and why they're different and how each of those different things may benefit you. This went a lot longer than I necessarily intended. But I'm going to do the, award ceremony, band play me off, wrap myself up here. Folks, when you're ready, we are ready. We've got this, that, and just about every other thing that you could want out here, so we can give you a good, fair comparison between them. And if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. And if you'd like to see what other mid-bunks might be available out there, I got a laundry list of them listed down in the video description with full video tours of a bunch of things. Enjoy. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Best wishes from Bishes, everyone.